Here we go. Hi everybody.
Hi.
How you going? It's Friday, which means, as most of you would know by now, I'm on a bit of a mission.
You are.
To dispel the mystery around being psychic. And I've been interviewing some fabulous friends of mine over the last little while about whether or not they are psychic. And with me today is the fabulous Priscilla.
Hello everyone. Nice to see you.
So I did try to interview Priscilla a couple of weeks ago, but something went awry with the Facebook Live.
Oh yeah.
So
that was a biggie.
Fingers crossed that it will be beautiful today.
Especially during this Mercury retrograde. I think it's
Yes.
a perfect opportunity to give it another shot and see how it really plays out.
Exactly. Okay, so Priscilla, are you psychic?
Yes, I am.
You are?
I am.
Okay, 'cause
Surprise.
a lot of people say, when I ask them that question, they say, no, I'm not. So when you say you're psychic, what does that mean for you?
I believe it's my natural ability to tune into what's going on around me and and listening to the other messages that are coming through, not just the visual and not just the auditory in the standard touchy-feely way we know.
Okay.
I think it's about listening to the other levels of the auditory and the other levels of the visual.
Okay. And so when you say these other messages that come through, where are they coming through from?
I think my understanding of this is that they're coming through from the etheric world. When I say the etheric, I mean the energetic world that we live in. We live on a magnetic planet, and we live on a planet that sends us sound waves and light waves, and it's tuning into those other frequencies of the different sound waves and the different light waves. And they're the messages that we're getting, and it's learning to do that is a challenge, especially when we are assaulted with so much information through the visual with our smartphones, through the auditory with the music and the kind of music that's out there at the moment, and also too when you're out and about, just standard living in a city, which most of us do. Well, most of us who would watching this kind of video.
Hi, Summer.
Hello. So for me it's about tuning into those other frequencies of light and other frequencies of sound that we don't hear or see with our eyes and our ears, that we're taught to hear with our eyes and our ears.
Okay. And so can I ask, people often talk about the 5 clairs, so the knowing, the seeing, the hearing, the smelling, the tasting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for you, which ones of those, like how do messages come through to you? Is it because you have a knowing about something, or is it a feeling, a taste, a smell? How does it show up?
I know that I'm clairaudient in
Okay.
terms of I'll actually hear some things, like in my sleep I'll hear a voice, I'll hear a sound, and sometimes, and that depends, because sometimes it's not noticeable when I'm out and about, or I might hear something when I'm out and about, and I actually look around going, I'm hearing bells, I know there's no church in the area, that kind of thing. So, and then sometimes it's a feeling or a knowing.
Okay.
Like, for example, this afternoon, I'm thinking, oh, come in and I'll see Lucretia, yay! And I thought, I've got to bring my new glasses with me. And so I packed them up and brought them inside. She says, I've got to go to the optometrist and get a pair of glasses, really quickly before I leave. I'm going, I got these online for $15.95 plus XXX, a couple of extra dollars, $25.95 or something US dollars instead of paying 150 Australian. I was like, I don't know why I was bringing them in, but I just packed them on it. I need to take these with me. So trusting that is powerful.
Yeah. So let's talk about that, right? Because a lot of people say to me, oh, my intuition doesn't work. Hello, Carrie, darling. My intuition doesn't work. I can't rely on it. I'm just imagining it. All these different types of things. So the thing about trusting is really, really huge, right?
Oh, it's key. It's absolutely key, because even if you don't know why, you'll get told why later.
Yes.
You can't know why in that immediate moment. I don't think it's about knowing why in the immediate. It's about, I just know I need to do this. The why will come later, and be okay with that.
And that's really hard.
Very challenging.
That's really, really hard, right? Because we are taught to rationalize everything and think it through, etc., etc. But your intuition doesn't work that way, right? It doesn't get
It's not a logic. It's not, and it doesn't run on a standard timeline or a standard visual context. It's fucking all over the place. It's not, it doesn't run like a highway down the road and you can see miles and miles ahead. It actually can dart all over the place. And, you know, it's like, oh, okay, yep, all right, not sure why I'm getting this information, but I'll take it, and I'll take what I need to take. I'll pack this. I need to buy this. Get home. You're out. Didn't know. Whatever. Or someone says, oh, I really need a blur. Oh, I bought that today. Here, have this one.
Yes.
That sort of thing.
Yes,
more
yes,
and more of that. When you tune into that, it gets easier. But it's still a challenge.
It is. And sometimes you get information that's not for now, it's for later. And you're like, why the heck am I seeing this vision now, or I'm having this knowing now? It's no help to me. I've got no way of manifesting that or creating that, or what the hell. And then you just have to park it. But then, you know, lo and behold, 4 weeks later, oh, there it is.
Yeah, exactly. I think learning to park it is a really important one. It's something we often forget because we're in such an instant world. It's a constant, like, we have to know instantly why. Well, no, we don't. Or we're not going to be allowed to. It just isn't going to happen like that.
It doesn't work.
No.
It really doesn't work.
No.
So let's talk about, you use your psychic abilities to help you with your life.
Mm-hmm. I do.
And you use it also with your business as well.
Yes, I do.
Right? So one of the things that Priscilla does is she's a craniosacral
therapist and intuitive mentor, focusing on sovereignty.
Yeah. So with the craniosacral, do you want to share a bit about what that's about?
Yeah, cranio is an amazing modality that's incredibly gentle but really deeply profound, because it's allowing the body to remember what it already intelligently knows. And when I work with people on the table, I'll start asking questions, because I also use psychosomatics. I'm a psychosomatic therapist as well. And so I'll just have the need to ask a question. So tell me about what's going on with blah. And that the answers I get usually hone in on exactly what is going on a subtle level or a deeper level that is not presenting in the immediate context. So it's a way of tuning into what's happening for the client that their body is playing out, but they didn't realise was hovering there.
Yeah.
And so when I'm in a session with someone, I'm in a position to be able to feel what's going on for them, and then ask the question, and then that helps them move something that's been sitting there for a long time that actually didn't realise was hovering for them, and actually probably blocking them from moving forward.
Yeah. So there's two things I wanted to pick up on there.
Yeah.
First thing is that doing craniosacral therapy, it's on a massage table. It's basically about working with the body.
It's with the body, yeah.
But the first thing you mentioned there is you basically feel called to ask a particular question. That's intuitively.
That's the intuitive,
You're tuning in to where that person is at on an intuitive level.
Yes, absolutely.
And then you are like, I just need to ask this question, and you're trusting that that's the right question to ask that client.
Yeah.
And then the thing is that your body at a cellular level holds on to stuff.
Yep, absolutely.
And it can be stuff from this life.
Yep,
it can be
past.
stuff from past lives.
Absolutely.
And so when you ask that question, and then in doing so and doing your therapy, you help them to release that stuff from their cellular body.
Absolutely. By allowing them to let it go, once we've identified whatever that thing is, we can then let the body know it's safe to let it go. And then the cellular memory is allowed to change, so it can take on a new memory. It has space to take on a new memory and release the old one.
Yeah.
So there's a healing takes place at a cellular level.
Yeah. So when you're working with a healer who is also psychic or intuitive or energetically sensitive, however they describe themselves, you're really getting that extra level of assistance.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
That you don't get from someone who's just merely using their head. So if you have a medical doctor, for example, and I'm pro-Western medicine, I'm definitely not anti it, but if they're only working from their headspace
and their knowledge, which is their cognitive understanding of the books that they've learned,
logic, they are sometimes dismissing other signs. And so from my perspective, is when they use those two things together, oh my goodness, if you can use Western medicine and the intuitive knowing for healing.
To ask the questions to go deeper.
Yes.
That's what we don't get, I think, in what we call Western medicine, is the doctors aren't trained, and a lot of the practitioners aren't trained to ask the questions that go beyond the immediate physical results.
Yeah.
You know, I remember once, just years and years ago, actually having a doctor I went to for rashes, and he said to me, he went through this comprehensive list, what products are you using, have you changed your soap, are you using a different dishwashing liquid, but he never once asked me about work and how are you feeling about that. Oh, I tell it like he did. I dismissed it. But it was interesting how he didn't ask questions that have helped me feel safe to talk about something like that. You know, like he wasn't tapping into that, you know, that part of me that was looking for help. So it was interesting.
Yeah, so I think that there are definitely, I've met doctors who are, hi Louise, I've met doctors who definitely are using both skill sets in tandem, which is
wonderful.
Freaking amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that takes healing to a whole other level.
Oh, absolutely it does. Absolutely it does.
Yeah. So if you have a healer who's got both those things going on, man, you are in good hands.
Absolutely.
Really
You're very
good
lucky.
hands. Yeah, absolutely. Very
lucky.
So you use it in your professional life, and on a personal level, how do you use your intuition and your psychic abilities to help yourself in a personal way?
The best way for me to describe that would be more around in my interaction with family and friends, knowing when it's whether or not being in a certain environment is actually wise for me to be in. Is it safe? Like I do have natural, you know, like anyone, we've got family stuff going on. And there are times when I get very triggered or I find that I trigger my family. And so I'm learning to navigate the whens to catch up with family. When's it safe, you know? And so I'm feeling into, well, okay, if I don't feel safe, I have to listen to my own internal radar about whether or not it's a safe place for me to be. You know, and sometimes I've dismissed it because I've gone, no, it's family, I should be okay, but it wasn't so pleasant.
Yes.
You know, and I've had to step away going, this isn't safe for me. It's not safe for my heart. It's not safe for my soul to be in this environment because whatever's going on is so disruptive and actually quite toxic. And that's what's going on, but it's just that it's not wise for me to be there. And I'm learning more and more when to feel that this is a wise thing to do and navigate my family dynamics. And so I do the same thing with friends as well. I'm learning to recognize when I'm not very good in really big crowded places. I tend to be better off in a one-to-one. And so I've got to recognize when is it safe for me and okay for me to go to places that can be really, really busy and really loud and with lots and lots of different bodies, because it's like an assault on my
because
senses.
You feel the energy.
I feel everybody quite intensely, and sometimes I can shut it all off and go up here. I've done that for many years in corporate, and now that I'm away from corporate and I've gone, no, I need to understand what this is. Learning to go back into those really busy environments is challenging.
It is.
And sometimes I can do it for a while, and then it's like, oh, I just can't. I just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But that's me learning to listen to me and what my body is telling me, how my energetics are feeling, literally. You know, is my heart pounding? Is my blood rushing around the body? Is there a lot of heat somewhere? You know, or if I'm feeling cold and go, oh, well, that's not, woo, hang on, step back. There's something, you know, it's like everything's just contracted in, and it's like, this isn't wise for me to be here anymore.
Yeah. And so the other thing I'm going to mention at this point, because I actually know Priscilla quite well, is that she's very well grounded. And if any of you have watched any of my videos, you will know I bang on about this all the fucking time because it's really, really, really important.
Yeah.
So the more if you are energetically sensitive, psychic, whatever you call yourself, and you are ungrounded, you are going to be pushed around by other people's energies so much more, right?
Yeah.
But because Priscilla is very well grounded, 99.9% of the time, you have a much better ability to manage being in crowds, to manage other people's crap. Because people go through stuff. That's how we're human beings, and we can't avoid being exposed to that, right? Because that's life.
Yep.
But
it's true,
when you're well grounded,
it's easier to navigate, much easier to navigate. And so learning how to be grounded is really important. And I think that it's often, when we go into the psychic realm, so to speak, it's very easy to be wanting to function in the upper chakras from the heart up, but there's no substance up there. It's all etheric. It's air in the heart, it's air in the throat, it's etheric, and it's pure energy. So we're not functioning from a place that enables us to be whole and complete, and we need to function from the base chakras as well. You know, the earth, the water and the fire are needed to be able to bring the warmth and the earthy warmth up into the heart and to be able to function and use this energy. So we have to bring the core through and bring the energy up through the core as well. If we don't do that, then we're only functioning with half capacity, and then that's when we're in danger of being out of our bodies and having the context of psychic attack is more easy. You know, it's much easier to be energetically bombarded when you're only functioning from these upper chakras.
Absolutely.
And you need to learn how to come down into your body and recognize that this area here isn't being looked after because you're not actually giving any attention to the lower chakras.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very
and with
important.
people who are highly empathic, so they're mainly feeling stuff through here.
Through the heart and the...
And if they're not grounded,
Yeah.
they get themselves into all kinds of
it's
challenges, right?
Yeah.
Because they're feeling everything here and it's all here, but they can't take it.
Yep. Absolutely.
They can't take it.
Yeah.
But if you are well grounded, and they're really basic things to do around that you can do for yourself.
Absolutely.
You don't need a university degree to work out how to be grounded. At its most simplest point, it's about being in your body, right?
Being present in your body. One of them is yoga.
Yep.
Very powerful. Even just going and lying on the ground and feeling your toes, consciously imagining what it's like to feel down into your toes, and then bring the feeling back up through your body and bring it back up through your ankles and through your legs and through your knees and through your hips and through your belly and up into your chest. You know, these really slow process of feeling the sensation through your body is a really simple way of coming back into your body and getting grounded. You know, movement, dance is very powerful. You know, especially with lots of drums, you know, that bring you into that real bass, that slow, deep drumming sounds. They bring you into your bass. You know, that's another brilliant way of feeling the energy in the body on a lower level instead of always up here. And you can always tell when people are grounded. Well, if they aren't grounded, they have a higher pitched voice as well. So they're not breathing deeply into their ribs.
Yeah.
That's another thing. So breathing is a really good technique to ground you as well. You can do the closing and the opening of the nadis and breathe deep. And when you're breathing in, you're not just breathing in through the nose, you're actually breathing deep into your core, and you feel the sensation as you are breathing, and breathe it out as well and back in again. So they're really important and really good little techniques to help keep you grounded or to bring you back into your body.
So. That's awesome. Thank you so much for
My
sharing
pleasure.
that stuff. It's really practical. Hi, Jenna. It's really practical stuff that people who are energetically sensitive can do for themselves, and I'm really big on that. You know,
Absolutely.
So many of us have this ability, this special skill set. So
well, we all have it. It's whether or not we're listening to it and tuning into it.
Absolutely,
You know,
and learning how to work with it.
And learning how to work with it.
But you can absolutely do it in a way that it looks after you and enables you to function in the physical sense, because we are energetic beings having a physical experience.
We sure are.
So stay in your physical.
This is the body that we've been born into, and so we need to treat it with the utmost respect. And you can do a whole pile of things to it, and good on you if you survive those experiences. That's cool. However, remember that, you know, you've come in to feel this experience, and so maybe the journey is to actually like bombard it with shitloads of drugs and, you know, God knows what else. That could be your journey, you know, to see how much it can take. But don't forget that, you know, it's easy to disassociate as well, and that's why some people actually do what they do with the drugs. You know, it's too much to be in their body and it's too scary. But it's really important that you treat the body with utmost respect, because this is the one you're born into to experience your life through.
Yeah. Absolutely, and it's about being self-accountable for your own energetic experience.
Absolutely.
And knowing that there are skills that are really easy to learn that will help you to manage this stuff for yourself, so you can actually step forward and do what you're here to do on the planet and not get thrown off balance by other people's energies or situations, those kinds of things.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when you take responsibility for something, you're actually empowering yourself, and I think most people don't realise that. They actually think, oh, I don't want to take on too much stuff because, you know, it's I don't have the bandwidth for that. It's like, well, no, self-empowerment is about, or self-responsibility is about self-empowerment, and that fundamentally is sovereignty. Sovereignty is about coming into your body and saying, I'm totally responsible for what pops out of my mouth, what I think, what I thought, desire, action, what comes down through my mind to speak and pop out of my mouth. I own that. You know, okay, I might have just channeled someone or whatever, but I still have to say, yes, I said it. It came through me. I was the channel that it came through. I have to own that I'm the channel.
Yes, and just as equally, I have to own that as a channel or bringing any kind of energy through your body, I must also be responsible for my physical.
Absolutely, as a result of that, yeah. Big time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really helpful.
Thank you.
Bye, Louise. Thanks for tuning in, Dal. Okay, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for having me back.
We're going to put a link to Priscilla's
Facebook page and my website as well,
etc. in the comments below.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, please post them there.
Yep.
Priscilla and I are really, really happy to answer questions.
Yep.
And if this was useful or insightful for you in some way, please like and share it with your friends so that we can share the love and help more people to learn about what it is to be psychic, how it takes so many different forms and pathways with different people.
Yes, it does.
And how you can have these kinds of gifts and live an amazing life by being self-accountable, grounding yourself, and learning how to use these amazing gifts you've got to do what you're here to do on the planet.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful people, thank you for tuning in.
Bye, everybody.
And we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.
Bye.